Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy ADNS all day. I'm in the spot. I'm in the zone. You feel me? Right now, I'm finna do something I haven't done in a while, and I'm finna review the latest episode of the new House of Pain series. Now, a lot of y'all may remember the House of Pain from years ago, and then they had like canceled it for a while, then they brung it back, and then they stopped it again, and now they brung it back again with a season 7. And everybody's like all older and stuff now, and they got a lot of the same characters for those who never seen the show or who may have seen it earlier. But anyways, in this episode, season 7, episode 21, Malik, which is CJ's son, and his girlfriend Lisa, it pretty much was about them. And the episode was about I feel like about how relationships could be today, and it states like what a lot of men go through, but they might not actually know what's going on. So let me explain a little things to y'all, just a few things. Number one, his girlfriend Lisa was a stripper. She was a stripper, that girl that you see, and he ended up hooking up with her, and she so-called got pregnant by him, and he ended up moving her in his father's house. Right now, this is their father's house. So now she gets to move in his house for free or whatever, because she's pregnant, what they say. I'm still skeptical if she really is, but so she been living in there with him and whatnot, and now he's starting to, deal with her living in the house, even though this is really, his parents' house, but she's staying there too. But anyways, so the way the episode began, it began with Malik and his father CJ sitting watching the football game, and they was chilling, enjoying the game, you know what I'm saying? And then Lisa, his girlfriend, came down there, changed the channel of the TV, and then just got the complaining about, oh, I want to watch my show, and just basically just sat in there and just started watching the show, forcing Malik and CJ to go to the kitchen to go watch the game on the phone. Like at first they went to the kitchen like, what the hell is going on? Then the next thing you know, oh, I'm gonna pull out our phone, and so we gonna sit here and watch the football game on our phones while she gets to sit there and watch the big TV. Now a lot of y'all may be thinking, well, is that the only TV in the house? And believe it or not, yes, that was the only TV in the house, believe it or not. Because Malik's parents have this thing against children watching TV. They just like to monitor it, so they keep only one TV in the house, because they do have kids as well. So anyways, so they was in there talking about it. Malik was getting upset because he's like, hey, I want to watch the game on the big TV, but she gets to sit in there. And his father CJ kept like making excuses for her, like, oh, well, she's pregnant, this and that, let her do what she do, women and this and that. And then he was going with it at first, like, all right, I'm gonna let her just do what she do, then we gonna watch it in here. But the funny part is, it just kept getting worse. It's like the things that Lisa was doing was getting worse and worse. She went from sitting there watching TV to being in the kitchen with them, eating up all the food, not even paying attention to the TV, going back, not even listening to Malik. Like, it was a part, like, right when she came in the kitchen, Malik was finna say something to her, like, hey, and she just ignored him and went right there and just went right back on the couch. So it's just showing you early, like, look, and to be honest, and then she was in there like, oh, I'm so pregnant, oh, I'm this and that. But you don't look pregnant. Like, honestly, in that episode, this isn't the same episode, but she looked this exact same way. So it's like you're trying to say, oh, I'm like, I could see if you was big or something. Like, girl, you literally look the same. So anyways, let me get to the end of the story before I come to the morals. But so, like I said, stuff was getting worse. Malik was getting madder and madder. And it's funny because CJ kept telling them, like, nah, son, just let her do it. Don't worry about it. And it's funny, like, it got to the point where he had to pull a drink out. He pulled a drink out for him and CJ. That shit had me laughing. And then it finally got to the part where he built up enough self-esteem that, to go talk to her. Like, look, because he was trying to tell CJ, like, look, relationships should be about compromise, right? So why am I the only one compromising, but she not? So he went to go speak to her. She got the crying over this show, acting like the show is important, dissing them in their game, but acting like her show is so important. And then, so he was finna talk to her. He got to talking to her or whatever. Finally, it took forever because she was really trying to play with his emotions. But he was like, hey, I want to watch the game. Da 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 da. Malik stood up for himself. He was like, all right, I want to watch this game. You gonna have to go upstairs or whatever. So she was like, oh, whatever. All right, I gotta go. And then went upstairs, right? So Malik was chilling. This is like the end of the episode now. A few other things happened, but I'm getting to the point because this was the point of the episode. So now Malik's sitting there on the couch and he's like, oh yeah, I did it. I stood up for myself. I'm fine. You see she upstairs, and then CJ was like, hey, it's not over. And then Malik was like, what do you mean? He's like, what do you mean it's not over? She's upstairs. He was like, what are you talking about? And then basically, CJ knew that girl was not going to go up there and be all cool with him. But the sad part is he kept making excuses for it. That's what was bothering me. And then like moments after CJ basically told him that and he found out about it, all of a sudden, she came downstairs with a bag and all her stuff and was like, oh, I'm finna go to somebody else's house who I could watch TV, and left. And then Malik was like, oh, where you going? What you doing? Stay. And she just walked out the door and left. Didn't even really tell him where she was going or nothing. And that's how the episode ended, with Malik acting all crybaby over this girl. You know what I'm saying? And him leaving and her leaving and him not knowing what to do. So now I already know it's probably going to happen in the next episode. But now let me give my spin on it. I feel like this is the problem that a lot of us men be dealing with today, or we talk about when it comes to women. Like, now the reason why the episode is so crazy is because they use the excuse of her being pregnant. But a lot of women act like that regardless. They'll come in your stuff, want you for this, want you for that, and then act really rude and ignorant towards you. And then you see, she told him, Malik, like, oh, I'm your girl, we're together, I have your baby, but you not showing him no type of respect. And you're disrespecting him in front of his own father. And you get to move in his house. What did Malik get from you? He didn't get crap. What did he get? Not a damn thing. You moving in his house, eating up all his food. Now you trying to disrespect his father and his people by jumping in there, changing the TV. I mean, didn't even ask, just did it. Talking about them. And then once Malik stand up for himself like he should and say, hey, let's compromise, let's work together, and you leave, and they gonna show him crying. See, that's the problem with a lot of guys. You shouldn't be crying. If a girl treats you like that, let that girl go. Because that means she don't care about you anyways. And it's sad that they putting this type of stuff on TV, making it look acceptable. That's not acceptable behavior from a woman. I don't give a damn if she pregnant or not. I know it's such thing as hormones and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean be an asshole. That doesn't mean be a fucking jerk. That's the whole point. Like I was saying, why are you making up excuses for these women's behavior? But we don't get excuses like that. Us as men, when do people make up excuses for us? That's just the problem. And that's why Malik was trying to compromise with her. And what did she do? Treating him like shit and walked away on him. And based off the way she talked, 9 times out of 10, when a girl tell you, oh, I'm gonna go somewhere else where I could do this, that means she's going to another man's house. She didn't say it, but that's what women most of the time mean when they say that. So again, I knew this from the start of it. When I first met this Lisa girl, I didn't like her because she was so rude and so ratchet in front of his grandparents, and she was a stripper and she had an Instagram and she was a thought, It's like they're trying to teach you like these are the type of women that you want to avoid. You don't want to avoid women who don't act loyal. Because it's a lot of women out here who will do this, say they're your girlfriend, but be lying the whole damn time just so they can get stuff out of you, just like what this girl was doing. And like I said, she already was getting all of that out of him. And since Malik kept falling for it, now it's getting worse. Now she wants more. Now she wants more. And then once you stand up for yourself as a man, she walk away and try to use that against you. See, that's the mind games that a lot of women like to play. And I just seen it in the latest episode. And Malik broke down, man. He should have stood up like he wanted to and let that girl walk away. Because trust me, there's better girls out there than that. I'd rather be by myself than deal with someone who would be that disrespectful towards me and just leave me hanging, and not even listen to me. See, that's the brainwashing that a lot of men don't understand. Like, don't let nobody do you like that. Man or woman, don't let nobody do you like that. But a lot of men like to drop their guards for women because a lot of men like women. So they drop their guards. But you need to keep your eyes open. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about the situation. Now, what do I think is gonna happen in the next episode? He probably gonna go chase her and run after her, and things ain't gonna do nothing but get worse. I seriously doubt he's gonna stand up for himself like a man and maybe wait for this girl to come back correct. I doubt it. He's gonna go into a chase. Watch, and you know, I could honestly be correct. He gonna go chasing her. His father, CJ, gonna be like, oh, this is what you gotta do to get a woman. Oh, and let me add that in too. I mean, yo, like, I don't think CJ should be talking so much about Malik, because when CJ was with Janine, I mean, that girl was 10 times worse than Lisa, who you see now. Janine was way worse. And CJ kept putting up with her bullshit, and her bullshit was actually worse. Yeah, eventually him and Janine did end up back together, but that was so much unnecessary work that most women would never even put in. And in this episode, Malik said that. In the episode, Malik was like, man, I want to compromise. He was like, because CJ was telling him to do all this shit, and he was like, and Malik was like, that's too much work. And I'm like, yes, that's just the whole point. They want you to work while they don't. Stand up for yourself, my man. Stand up for yourself. And we'll see what happens in the next episode. If y'all would like me to review some other TV episodes or shows, I can. But this one caught my attention, so I might continue this later. Because this episode just came on yesterday on the 16th. But like the video, comment, tell me what you guys think. And I will see you later. Shouts out J Rock Beats. Peace out.